Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. What this video is going to be about is how to pair up or change your address on your Stafix remote control. And this is the same thing on a Speedrite unit, but it only works. This procedure only works on like the M36R, M63R, or like the older M15s, M12s, M20s, any of those older units that might be able to use a remote control. This isn't the same as your like 6000i Speedrites or X6i, X12i, stuff like that. It's only for these older, or for these M series. But M36R, M63R will be the equivalent to the Speedrite 36000R or the 63000R. Now this is a unit that we repaired for a customer. So we got the unit going, but he asked if we could make sure that this remote control would work with his unit. He's got, I guess, a couple of these things, I guess, and he wants to make sure that this remote will work with this particular unit. And you'll need your owner's manual to know for certain, because when you first plug this thing in, the lights will go across here, back and forth like Knight Rider. Then it will show up some green lights here in a different pattern. And if you got to maybe take a picture of it or whatever you got to do, or look at it real quick and then have your manual opened up to where you're somewhere in there, it'll have like, I think there's 15 addresses, so 16 addresses that are on that these can have. And there's a pattern in those lights that will tell you which address it was on. Sometimes I have it written right here, like this one says address, says 13 on it, but yours might have 1, 5, 10, whatever the address is. But if you got multiples of these things, you can write on there what address you want. You can change the address, all that kind of stuff. But we're gonna get this remote control set up on address 13 to be able to turn this energizer on and off from the fence, but we can do it right here on the table and turn it on and off from right here. So we're going to plug it in real quick. It goes back and forth. Now that's the sequence. We're going to look at these lights here. So on mine, this particular one had this light here and a couple of these right here that were lit up. So that pattern in the book says it's address 13, but he actually had written on his case address 13. So this has already got address 13 already on it. So and now what you have to do, you have to get this remote control on address 13 as well. So what you do, after this thing's running and everything, you press and hold the on button, then press and hold this, this little button with the line on it, and let your fingers off. And it'll show this, and then you're going to hit the on button until you get to the word add, which is the address. Right now it's on address 10. So to make that number climb, just push the off button. There's an address 11, 12, 13. You can press and hold it as well, and it slowly climb up, but it gets like address 15 and it goes right back around to 1 and climbs back up. So once you get to the address you want, no, it shut off on me. It has automatic shut off on there. So we're going to press and hold. Change to address 13. Press the on button to save. And now we should be able to hopefully put this on here. I'm going to shut it off then. Here's turn it on again. There, now it's working. So now you can see it's off. So we'll repeat that again just so we get it right. So I'm gonna go back into here, and I'm gonna just change it to address. I'm just gonna pick a random address so we can kind of start from scratch to repeat, make sure we get it right. And so there's any confusion, makes sense. So I want to save it to address 9, hit the on button. That confirms I'm going to turn this remote control off. I'm going to unplug the unit, plug it back in to reset it. Get it pulsing again. So now we're going to do this address thing. You're going to press on and that button, same time. Show you again. So you press and hold this one, and then hit this one, and then release. And then hit this and on button until you get the word add. Now we're in address 9. So we're going to climb it up to address 13. Now your address may be 5 or 6. You just got to look at those green lights. See it and look in your book, see what address it is. Hit the on button to confirm. Now we're going to turn this remote control off, just there. We're going to turn it back on. Now we're going to, put the little peg on your hot terminal, hit the off button. So now it's in standby mode. So now, now it's working. So I'm going to put this back on here, hit the on button, turn it back on again, hit the on button. There it goes again. So hopefully that helps you out on how to set up your, to change your address or get your address on the remote control to match up to the fence charger. So the key thing is to find out what address is on your unit. It's the factory one. There's a factory address, and then you have to make sure that this matches up with whatever this says on there. This one was set at 13. There's 15 addresses on these things, so you got to look in you got to have your manual, or go to speedrite.com or stafix.com or whatever and find the user manual online, which is free. I think you can just download it, read through it, find the address thing, and it has, like I said, it has 15 addresses, 1 through 15, and you've got to look at your light sequence, whatever it says on here when you first plug it in. It goes back and forth. Look at these lights here and see which ones are lit up on here. The last one doesn't light up. It only corresponds with their standby whenever when it's off. But look at those lights right there on the green one, and see what that sequence is, and that will tell you what address your unit is on. So then once you know that, then you can go on here to your remote control and set that set your remote up to be matched up with whatever address this is, and save it and turn it on and off. And before you can do it right here on the table on your unit. Once you get it kind of working, then you can plug it in, hook it to your fence and ground and stuff, go out to the fence and then try it out, make sure it works. So when you're out on the fence, you just turn it on, you lay this, it's got a little metal back there so your body acts as the ground. You go to the fence, you hit the off button, and then you just give it a couple seconds, make sure it shuts off, you don't see any more readings coming on there. So I wasn't even touching the unit, freaking thing went off, so we're not even touching it. So we're going to hit the on button. I'm holding it right here in my hand. I'm going to hit the on button. Oops, turn it back on again. Look at that. I wasn't even touching the stupid thing and it turned itself on and off just for the, I guess, the induction, the magnetic field in the thing. So you would go out to your fence, turn it off, give it a second, just shut off, and when you fix your problem, whatever you're trying to do, turn it back on. Boom, there it goes, and goes right back to clicking again. So it's pretty sophisticated piece of equipment. It's real handy. The remote controls work really well. There's a couple brands that have these things that do this kind of stuff. There's Speedrite and Stafix have it. Gallagher's got their stuff that they use that does remote control and fault finding and stuff like that. I think Kenco's got a variation of their stuff. It's doesn't have a digital display, but has a row of lights that light up on it. So there are other brands out there that do remote control, fault finding type of remote control stuff. Besides Stafix, Speedrite, and Gallagher and them guys, but it's a nice tool to have. So hopefully it helps you out. If you got any questions, ask me. I mean, we do a lot of repairs on stuff. You can go to our website down below. There's a link to it, fencerfixer.com. But until we do another video of how to work on one or how one works and the features of a unit, we will see you later on.